Just because you messed up, you went back to that thing, just because you feel like you have fallen short, doesn't mean that you can't get back on track. Doesn't mean that you are not worthy. Doesn't mean that you're not good enough. We're human. It's expected for us to falter sometimes. You know what I mean? To give into our preconceived notions, to give into our temptations. But it's always our choice to continue to go back to God, to go back to Jesus, to go back to following in the path that is better, healthier. You can always go back to that. I'm watching The Chosen. And if you're watching The Chosen, definitely let me know any thoughts, any takeaways that you've, got from watching. But I'm at the part where Mary, who Jesus healed, she fell back into her temptations and her old ways and is like, I can't go back to Jesus. I can't go back to him. I don't deserve to go back to him. And Matthew and Simon are telling her, like, look, this is what Jesus is here for, to continuously guide us, to continuously have us or show us the best way to go. And it's always going to forgive you because it's expected for us to fall short sometimes. It's okay. So if you went back to a relationship that was not good for you and you got hurt again, it's okay. That's a part of the journey. That's a part of the plan. That's a part of, why Jesus is needing you to come back to him. Like that you fell back into is why Jesus loves you. It's because he knows that by you going through this, that you're not able to figure it out by yourself. And that's okay. That's why he's here. That's why he's always going to be accepting of you, even when you don't accept yourself. You know what I mean? If you went back to old habits, old thought processes, went back into, fear, doubt, reclusion, like all of that are symptoms and reasons for why you need to go back to God, go back to Jesus. Take it back to God, take it back to Jesus. Because that very thing that you feel like you're embarrassed of or ashamed of or feel like you shouldn't be able or not worthy enough to go back to God about, that's exactly why you need to go. Because you'll have that guidance. You'll gain that confidence and that reassurance and that trust in the higher power to know that it's okay. It's all right. It's okay and it's all right to fall short. That's expected. And never be ashamed. But the one thing that we do need to know is to not give up. And by you not going back to God, by you not going back to Jesus, by you not willing to, say, hey, I messed up. Please help me. Please cleanse me. Please direct me. Please, rectify me. Like, I lost my train of thought. That's you accepting defeat. And that's not what we're about. We're not about accepting defeat. We're not about giving up. We're not about, losing sight of the vision that Jesus gave you, that God, like all of that negativity or all of the things that you feel like are wrong with you is exactly what Jesus and God is there for. It's to show you that there's more, or there's healing, there's, prosperity in what you see faults in. If you're in bad relationships, because that has been my testimony, being in bad relationships. So if you're in bad relationships or situations where you have stayed beyond the expiration date of it, there's healing in that. There's truth in that. There's reason in that. And to continuously do the same thing and expecting a different result is what? Say it with me. Insanity. And where we can find clarity, where we can find trust, where we can find truth, where we can find better is in God, is in Jesus, is in you starving that negative energy. Don't starve yourself from Jesus. Don't starve yourself from God, because then that is going to keep you blocked off from any betterment. You're going to be in this loop this loop, this continuous loop of chaos, frustration, poverty, stagnation. It's okay to falter. It's okay to feel like you messed up. That's a part of your journey. That's a part of your healing. That's a part of your path. And the more that you continuously get up and rise from that, go back to God, go back to Jesus, and the more that you do that, doesn't matter how many times, but each time that you do it, you go back to Jesus. That's what's important. It's the fact that you go back so that you continuously get that healing. Fill up that cup. Fill up that cup with goodness. Fill up that cup with, love, with faith. Whenever you feel like you're lacking faith or you lost faith, that's exactly where you need to go. It's back to God. It's back to Jesus. Anywhere else, you're looking for answers where the answers aren't. And then every time, feel like you're being tricked. You're like, why do I keep falling for the same tricks? Because we're going to the wrong source. Does that make sense? So if you recently felt like, I can't go back to Jesus, I can't go back, I didn't, did the thing that I said I wasn't going to do anymore. No, that doesn't matter. That's all your human mind or maybe human talk and opinions and perspectives over God's love for you, which is never going to judge you. Might convict you, but that's that negative feeling that we need to pay attention to. And then take it to God and be like, God, heal me up in this aspect. Lord, show me the right way to go so that I don't keep falling into the same trap. Because this same trap is tripping me up. Show me the best way for me to be able to get through this. Does that make sense? Go back to God. Don't be ashamed. Don't be worried, because He's not going to judge you. He's not going to reject you. He's going to help you and guide you. And that's exactly what we need when we feel like we're going in the wrong direction or continuously falling into the same habits and patterns that ultimately led to our demise. And we've seen it before. But that temptation is so strong that we forget that when we do fall into it, it's okay. Jesus' arms is open for us. And we just need to go back, go there and trust. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this blessed you. I hope this encouraged you to go back, turn your face, about face, back to Jesus, back to God. That's where we need to put our focus. Because anywhere else that has our focus, that is not bringing that same love and that fulfilling feeling, is detriment. So God bless you. Jesus bless you. Please. And I'll see you in the next video, okay?